think I'm a loving and fun person. A lot of times people don't perceive you the way you would like them to perceive you. So that one is difficult. I think we should skip that one. No, that's not my real name. My real name is Devanish Hendricks. I will not tell you my middle name. I think all babies from the 80s and backwards, they've got a weird middle name. My musical journey started from the age of 5, where my dad he taught me 3 chords, G, C, Craze, you know, and I didn't have a keyboard at the time, so my granny had a Casio CTK 100, and she gave that to me to start learning, you know, and yeah, that was the process. What would happen is you would make a mistake, but then that mistake would be your new chord that you discover. So that journey for me was beautiful. Yeah, so at the age of 6 years old, I go to school, and by now I can play a few chords and progressions. And my teacher, she discovers I can play, and then I started playing at school, at the assemblies and for the choir. And that for me, I think that just gave me more and more inspiration, more and more desire to learn this instrument. I broke my, so yeah, few months down the line, I broke my right arm. And as you know, you need both your hands to play the keyboard. So right arm in a cast, very sad. So I can't play anymore. And I was in hospital for a few weeks. I got out, and then the cast is off. And then I was in the habit of playing chords on the left hand, and then started doing some runs on the right hand. I started when in church we started our youth band, which was amazing. You know, these guys, they had no knowledge or any idea of music, and that is where I discovered I can teach, and was training a few guys on drums, keyboard, bass, and guitar. And next thing you know, we had a solid youth band, and from there we started a gospel band called Prophetic Joy. That journey for me, I think that was this is a big word, that was the expansion. My step into the mainstream industry started when I joined the Rockets, which was a life-changing experience for me, and I would always and forever be grateful for that journey. This one's going to be difficult. Uh, that would definitely be losing my son Liam at the age of a year and 2 months old. They say time heals, but I believe it's different for everyone. Today you might wake up and everything is fine. The next moment you would just think about them, and everything would just be, you know, yeah, everything would just fall apart. I'm a firm believer. I am a firm believer. I love the Lord. I would be nothing without Him. I tried and I failed. So everything that I have and that I do is because of Him. He makes all this possible. And the beauty of all of this is the fact that it is a personal relationship. I think that makes it so beautiful and so valuable. So that anytime that I need Him, I can talk to Him and He would answer me. If you have that relationship with your Creator and your belief is in place, that is one of the best. I think that is one of the best principles you can follow in life. Yeah, I had something going, which I called the Funny Dev. I hope really one day I would be able to do what I want to do using that platform. I would love to be the South African Tyler Perry, if it makes sense. There are reasons why I stopped for now, but I pray that at the right time it will surface again, where I would want to produce funny Dev. Okay, so my studio journey started on my keyboard. I got inspired, obviously doing tracks on the Yamaha Motif ES7. I had one years back. So I started tracking on there, so that built up the experience for tracking and recording. Then I was introduced into studio the first time when Prophetic Joy recorded the album at the SABC Studios in Cape Town. That was, I think that for me, that was like, whoa, that was like, whoa, I want this one day. And then after that, yeah, while being part of the Rockets, I was very fortunate to be in studio with Jerry Watt. And I think I saw a lot of his ways, and I implemented that when I started my journey with recording in studio. My first project was done on a Phantom G6, only the keyboard. I bought this keyboard specifically because it was able to do audio tracking. So I did all the MIDI stuff on the keyboard, and then I was able to plug in a mic or a guitar. But that was one channel, but that worked for me. In the process, I bought my first studio processing unit, and that was Cubase Cubase 8 Pro at the time, and I had my first sound card and the whole speaker system and everything, but still learning. I was still learning. I'm still learning today, but yeah, that was my beginning phases. And then later I was able to build up the studio to what I have today with my partner Jonita, and without her I would not have been able to do any of this. She is my, yeah, let's just do that. She is my, we are one, we are one, we are one. With the journey I met a lot of friends and musical buddies that also opened many doors for me. One of them was Alistair Isabel, who introduced me to so many artists, you name it. And those people, I would never have had these big names in my studio if it wasn't for him. So I am forever and for always grateful to him. And then also, I was fortunate, I was very blessed to work with him on the theme song for St. Ooster, the TV series on Keknet. And I did that. That was my second production, still on the Phantom G6 only, no studio setup yet. And for me, it was amazing to pass the test to go live on TV. So that was one of, I think, one of the best highlights I could ever ask for. I would love to become a well-educated producer, meaning that I am able to produce numerous of genres. And one of the important things for me as a producer is that your client needs to sound like your client. I must be able to produce your sound. Have 5 different artists and have them sound the way they need to sound, and not the way I want them to sound, and all 5 sounding the same. I want to be able to, if it needs to be pop, I need to produce pop. If it needs to be gospel, I need to produce gospel. If it needs to be country music, I need to do that, and the list goes on. And I think that is my aim, and that is why I listen to all kinds of music, and I need to stock up my library. So yeah, that is, I think that is one of the main things for me. The excitement for me is working with my band Jeodhouse. We are currently busy prepping our album, which took a long time, but I purposely went through the journey because I wanted to create a certain sound for our band, which I think is amazing when you're an artist and you discover your sound, because that is something, trust me, it can be a nightmare to, especially when you are used to covering songs. So it's difficult to get your own sound. So I think we've got our sound, and hopefully you will enjoy our music. If I would have a phrase, it would be one octave at a time.